Virginia Grand Driver is a public awareness campaign, and we talk about driver safety for seniors and for caregivers. There's a lot of resources on granddriver.net. This public awareness campaign is really important because our aging population in Virginia is getting larger. Right now we are at 20% of senior population in Virginia. By the year 2030, we're going to increase to 25%. That is 1 in 4 will be over the age of 65. Seniors only account for 14% of all crashes in Virginia. However, young adults are 24% of all crashes in Virginia. But the fatality rate is actually increasing. Fatalities for seniors because of fragility is about 24%, and that continues to go up. They do not travel very far. They only travel about 5-10 miles within their home, so to the grocery store, to churches, but they have the most crashes per miles driven. Young adults actually travel longer distance for commutes, maybe an hour, 2 hours maybe to commute, especially here in the DC area. So they have a lot of high-speed crashes. We want to help older drivers stay safe on the road and maintain their independence. Vision is really important on the road, so get your vision checked regularly. Talk to your doctor about different prescriptions. Medications can also affect driving, so if you are increasing your dosage or decreasing your dosage, that will affect your driving ability. If your prescription says no heavy machinery, that vehicle that you're driving is heavy machinery, so be careful on driving. Limit your driving to daytime hours. Our night vision starts to decrease as we age, so driving in daylight is preferable. Also, avoid driving in bad weather. If you do need to drive in severe weather conditions, please take extra time and drive slowly and carefully. Make sure your windshield wiper is not dry rotted, and make sure your tires are not balding. Make sure you have ample tread on your tires. Make sure driving in the summer you have coolant to help maintain your radiator and maintain your vehicle safety. Also, driving in busy traffic is not ideal, so plan your appointments after rush hour. Watch for pedestrians and bicyclists on the road. We must share the road with bicyclists. It is safe in Virginia to give them 3 feet of space when passing them, if it's safe to do so, crossing the double yellow lines. If you're taking long trips, please take a break every hour and a half to make sure that your legs are not fatigued and your eyes are not tired from staring at the road. In Ride Scheduler, there is a link to Google Maps, so plan your route ahead of time. Make sure you are familiar with the roads that Google Maps is sending you to. If you are using GPS, make sure that you listen to the directions carefully. When driving with a passenger, picking them up, ask them if they need special assistance helping to get in and out of the vehicle. If there is weather conditions like rain, be prepared with an umbrella to help them out. Make sure you are safe by wearing the proper shoes so you don't lose traction when helping someone. Ask your passenger if they need help getting to their appointment. And if they do not need help, ask them how long you should wait. For the safety of yourself and the passenger, minimize any conversations and do not take any phone calls while you're driving. If a client uses a cane or a walker, especially in wintertime, give them extra time to ensure safety. When you get the chance, go on car-fit.org and try to set up an appointment for a car fit. This is an international program started with AAA, AARP, and AOTA. It's a 12-point safety check with you in the vehicle making sure that if you do get into a crash, you're not killed or seriously injured. The 12-point check will check your safety belt, we'll check your head restraint, we'll check your pedals and your foot position on the pedals, making sure you're safe to get in and out of the vehicle. And especially when you're traveling with a passenger, you want to make sure they're safe to get in and out of the vehicle themselves.
I'm Mike Perrell. I had a 39-year career in highway safety research at the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And part of my research was involved with older driver safety, how to design car safety features to keep them safe while they're driving and help to prevent crashes from happening.
I've been a volunteer driver since 2016. I did not drive in 2020 because of the pandemic. But once I had my 2 Pfizer shots, I started driving again.
The first thing that I was looking for is, again, to meet a need, because our clients out there need to get to their medical appointments. It can be the difference between good health and bad health. But for me personally, it's a really good match between the fact that I'm a little bit introverted, and this gives me a good one-on-one, exposure to our riders. And the other thing is it offers flexibility, because I can plug in my drives into the gaps in my calendar, essentially, rather than have a volunteer job that has a very fixed schedule that I have to be on.
The Ride Scheduler program is wonderful in terms of giving the directions, how long it's going to take, how many miles it's going to take. And so I check that first. And then when I accept an appointment, I'll call the rider to double check the timing is good for them. And I tell them what kind of car I've got, what color, so they won't get into the wrong car.
I like helping people. I think that's why most people do it, and I'm also retired, so you look for ways to fill up your day. But what I like about the program is that you can decide when you want to do it.
I do like to make sure I know how long they're going to be waiting. It's typically been to medical appointments, so how long is their appointment? So I can plan what to do while I'm waiting for them to finish their appointment. And another thing I try to do is make sure I get the phone number of the doctor's office just in case an issue comes up.
When somebody has a medical drive, sometimes they want to pick up a prescription, so we also have a 2-step drive. You take them to their medical appointment, follow up, and go to the pharmacy. And after the drive is done, on the web-based program where we accepted the drive, you fill in how many miles it was and the amount of time that the ride took.
These days we're nervous about the pandemic, so we double check that we're both vaccinated to give us a little peace of mind, and for double protection, we're still wearing masks. So again, all the riders I've driven seem to be comfortable with that and not that nervous about it.
And I try to ask the people in this day and age whether or not they've had their COVID shots. And then once you accept the ride, the day before the ride, I call them to remind them. And then I pick them up. Of course, I'm driving, I wear a mask, and the patron, the client, sits in the back right seat also with a mask on. So that's worked well. One
of the tips I would give to drivers is to avoid being distracted while you're driving to possibly an unfamiliar place. Learn how to use the mapping feature of your phone, and if it has a way to display, if you have a newer car, the display of the map can be helpful. But also try to learn how to use the voice directions from your phone, so you don't have to look at something and get your eyes away from the road. And also, if you're familiar with using Google Street View, that gives you an opportunity to look at the landmarks of buildings and other features along the route, so you can get more familiar with the route and don't get distracted looking at directions or searching for street signs that aren't that obvious.
I'm not so young myself anymore, but we are all old or getting older, and I try to treat everybody with dignity. My car has Sirius XM, so I ask them as soon as they get in what kind of music they would like.
The best thing about the program is getting to know the riders. I just love our clients. Each one of them, you know, has a story to tell, and so I just love listening to them open up and share their lives. And I think that's the best part, is just getting to know the clients.
I don't know what I would do if I could no longer drive, you know, and that's a scary thing. And you hear stories of adult children taking away their parents' keys so they can no longer drive, because this is a wonderful program.
My background in highway safety has given me an appreciation for the challenges older drivers have in driving. And one story I heard in my career made a big impression on me. It was that doctors are more reticent to tell their patients that they shouldn't drive anymore than they are to tell them they have cancer. So that kind of impressed on me how important it is for transportation for people who are challenged about being able to drive.
We have one gentleman who's totally blind. That's one of the three that I pretty much tend to drive. And again, he very much trusts me. But the first time that we went on a grocery shopping trip with a blind man was quite an experience. So I thought that I was going to be there. We were going to go down this aisle, get a loaf of bread, go get some milk, and a few other things that I was going to have to find the things and then, you know, get us around the store and check out. Let me tell you, it was totally the opposite. He took me to the aisles. He told me exactly where the product was, where on the shelf, what the packaging looked like. He told me the price of the items. And by the time an hour and a half was up, we were like two boys in a candy shop, and we were just giggling and laughing and having a good time. And we walked out of there with a full shopping cart and about $300 worth of groceries, and just had the time of our lives.